Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to another video. Today we're going to get started on the Mafex Return of Superman Solar Suit / Regeneration Suit / Black Suit Superman. Let's get started. Yeah, if you have the Mafex Hush Superman, you see that this body is quite similar to that. Usually Mafex does like what everybody else does. If you can use the same body for it, they will. They've made some slight adjustments to this one. One of those being that they have upped the torso a bit right here in this area, and up in that torso kind of allowed them a little bit more room for articulation, but also it stopped it from damaging the ab area when you have any sort of ab crunch. So that's pretty cool. Also, Superman has a mullet. Can't go wrong with mullet Superman, right? So we have this nice look. Beautiful sculpt, actually. Really like the way that they use these comic book bodies very well. Get a lot out of it. And one of the things I really like about this suit is simply just how simple it is. It's something that I don't think you can really mess up. You can probably, if you wanted to do a pre-rebirth Superman Lois and Clark suit, you add the belt, right? You take off the mullet head and you add a bearded head, and there you have it. You have a modernized suit for the pre-rebirth Superman. I really like this mullet head though. Like, let's take a quick look at this. This is a very Dan Jurgens, and I like that. Really appreciate how well this sculpt is. Even with the S-curl, the long mullet hair, and it's not soft, unfortunately. I would have loved for it to be a little softer. That way, when you tuck the head back, you would be able to get into better flight poses. Now, because of that, we substitute that for a deeper ab crunch that allows some, let's change that focus. Sorry about that. You allow for that deeper ab crunch, and it looks a little funky, it does, but in flight poses, it'll look really good. But that's why they do that. You can actually tuck the head pretty well though. And as far as the backhand side, just muscles on Brussels, right? Now, in terms of articulation, we have our standard Mafex body. So you will get the ability to have a beautiful butterfly joint that pretty much is unhindered in every which way. And I love that because it allows lots of articulation. Our head movement is actually pretty well. Our mullet is going to hold us back from doing really good flight poses. We can still go just about every which other way. In our ab crunch area, we have a beautiful roundabout sculpt. And then with our lower part, as you can see here, we get even deeper ab crunch, as you can see here. And yes, it will look funky because it's all black and there's pretty much nothing else that you can really do because there's nothing to hide it. It's a straight up skin tight suit. And we all know, well, for the most part in the 90s, Solar Suit couldn't fly without jet boots. But look at this. It's a beautiful Superman pose. This looks utterly fantastic. And it took minimal effort. Putting on lotion was a bad idea because I definitely slipped right out my hand. But yeah, here we have it. So we have a beautiful bicep swivel. We have those beautiful butterfly joints, as you can see here. And we have beautiful ab crunch. As far as the legs go, as you can see, we hit a little bit better than 90 degrees here. We have a thigh swivel that rotates around. We have some drop down hips. And we have a beautiful double joint. Our ankle pivot is utterly beautiful. So if you want to get into those crazy 90s poses where the action was really simple but really fluid in terms of crazy movement. Like, look at this. Like, if you wanted to get that classic Dan Jurgens, the smackdown punch, there you have it with no problem whatsoever. Like I said, beautiful ankle pivot as well, and toe pivot. So I don't have any issues. It doesn't even need silicone shock oil. I was afraid it would, but it doesn't. So yeah, this Superman poses up very nicely. It looks very nice, but if you aren't a Reign of Superman fan, I can see you definitely modding your Superman to have way more fun, but that's really gonna be up to you. Now we're gonna jump into accessories. And since he's very light in accessories, no need to take a break. I got my water right next to me. I'm gonna take a quick glug. Give me 1 sec. So, water break, right? So, we will get these fists here. And these fists have a semi-open piece here, kind of like Batman holding batarangs. So if you want to hold like a data chip or anything like that, Reign of Superman style, you have these extra hands. I'm pretty sure they probably wanted to include the crazy weapons and the space bullets with the solar regeneration suit, but we all know there is a no weapons policy right now at DC, and they're very heavy on it. You have some open action hands, right? Here we are with the open action hands. You have the flight hands. And like I said, technically this Superman cannot fly, but if you want to mod it or change it or just say screw it, I'm gonna let him fly anyway, he does still have flight hands. Next up, you have some similar relax / trigger hands. And this one is tricky, right? Because I'm gonna take this off real fast. If you wanted to give him a Marvel Legends Skrull super duper space gun, right? Technically, he can't hold it, but he can hold it. Some sticky tag there would allow you to have like your space age weapon. If you wanted to do like space weapons, because I remember it was like a radiation gun. It wasn't necessarily like giant bullets and stuff like that, if I remember correctly. So technically he can hold it. If you want to finagle that, you can do that. And last but not least, we have the one swappable part being the jet boots. It's from when he couldn't fly. The jet boots was a nice touch, especially when you wanted to sell toys. And this is an easy way to just, what you do is you're gonna pop out the legs right here. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna find the tabs, make sure it locks all the way in because you don't want to look crazy, right? They even add a little bit of weight to Superman right at the legs too. And as you can see, we have our jet boot look. I really like the jet boots. It adds a little bit of flair to Superman if you want to keep them on. It looks really, really cool. And to be even cooler, you will have jet boot effects, right? And it's gonna be the longer tab for the back of the foot, shorter tab for the front of the foot. You're gonna tab these in here. And you will get 2 of them for obvious reasons, because he has 2 feet. Look at this. Let's rotate it just a little bit. This looks really, really good. Power up punch Superman. But yeah, man, I really like this. I think these are very classic comic book effects too. And if these look really good like this, imagine what they'll look like on the Mafex Iron Man. So I really like the look on this. This is a very great step into doing more comic book stuff. And last but not least, we have our extra sculpt. I'm gonna keep the jet boots on because they're kind of cool. Right? You lose no mobility either, So last but not least, we have our extra sculpt for Superman. This is our grit teeth sculpt. I believe the hair is the same length, so let's test it out. See if it changes any of that range of mobility, and it does not. The hair is a little bit softer, so you can push it back slightly, but it does not make a significant difference. I was hoping that hair would be like flowing in the wind or whatever, but yeah. Here you have it with the solar suit / regeneration / black suit Superman. Jet boots and all. Jet boots looking cool, man. I really like this look. I'm glad I got a second one so I can keep one jet boot up at all times. Right? There we are. Now, before we do anything off camera, I'm gonna swap it back so you guys can see what he looks like next to a bunch of other toys. So let's get to it. All right, guys, now we're moving into the size comparison. This is where it gets fun. Unfortunately, there are a lot of figures I either cannot find or at this point, I think I've lost in my move. So I'm gonna use what I have available at this time. Sorry if I don't help you in this size comparison part. I do my best with that, but unfortunately, real life always takes priority. So yeah. So first off, let's compare it to the Mafex Hush Batman. As we can sit up here, use our Batman skills. And as you can see, Superman is a little bit smaller than Batman, but I'm okay with that. The proportions are a little different too. As you can see, much slimmer waist, and it sits a little higher in the ab section. Whereas this one, abs is pretty much tucked in underneath our wider body, because his upper torso is much wider, but right here, Batman's is a little bit wider. Next up, very important that we compare it to the Hush Superman as well, right? This is what a lot of people have been waiting for, as we compare these two. The skin tones are not the same, but the bodies are similar. But very important thing that we wanted to try out is we want to take this guy and swap our heads and then see what we can get from there and see how mullet Superman looks. So as you can see, even with our neck tucked in and our ball joint, it might be a different, yep, it's a different ball joint. So it sits on there, but it does not match up with the peg. Now if we try this one on there, right? Again, the pegs don't match up. So we're gonna have a bit of a problem. So that means either they plan on doing like a head sculpt set. Let's see if I can get it on there without hurting myself. Nope, can't do it. The ball joints are different. So unfortunately, without a little bit of modding, there's nothing you can really do to kind of swap those heads on because they are on different pegs. Which actually, I like this look on both of them. Just wish the pegs were a little different. So it all depends on some sort of customizer to swap that around. It's really weird. I thought they would work, but they don't, which is crazy. Did not see that happening. Mafex is usually really good about that. Next up, let's compare it with some other DC stuff. So here we are with a Mcfarland Lobo. And these two are actually a really good size. The Mcfarland Lobo. Unfortunately, mine does not stand. But when you compare it to the Storm Lobo, it's even bigger. And I don't mind that because I think both actually really work here, especially depending on what kind of universe you're setting or if you want to go by animated series. Either one works for me. It doesn't really matter because Lobo is Lobo. Next up, here we are with a Mcfarland Lex Luthor. As you can see, Superman is way tinier than him. Then we have a Mcfarland General Zod. Again, Superman is way, way smaller than him. Now we're going to use, who can we, oh, very important, at least to me. Here we are with SH Figure Arts Kamen Rider Kuga. Get those feet flat. Then we have Evil Sensei Itami from Articulated Icons. Ooh. Very important. Here is Ichigo. In the midst of swapping all these things around, I forgot to add the cool boys. So here we are. Let's add them in. He's right here at the end of the video. Let's remove these two. We need a Mezco, right? So let's try. Oh, here we go. Batman fell. See? Got too much going on. Here we are with a Mezco Black Skull Brigade, but Ichigo's head was on there because I was goofing off. So here we go with Ichigo. So triple threat, baby. Triple threat. I think that about sums it up. I have some Mythic Legions, but they are not close. But last but not least, we can compare a Marvel Legend. So let's put a Marvel Legend in there. Like I said, it's a lot going on right now. So I'm doing my best.
You're doing great.
Thank you, baby. So last but not least, we have the Marvel Legends. I'll do some Mythic Legions and the photos at the end so we can get that going. In the meantime, thank you for watching. I know life has been incredibly crazy lately, including for myself. Do your best, guys. And sometimes your best is not the standard that you want it to be, and it needs to be okay because the best is all you can do sometimes, and that may not be enough. But if you have friends that love you and family that love you, or just something that you love, make sure that you keep going and you keep trying, because you don't know what happens if you're able to push through. Just give it a shot. And for those of you who cannot push through and life is a bit tough, that's okay too, because somebody out there cares, whether you know it or not. So please be safe, be good, do good. Please drink your water, guys. Later. Real quick bonus content, totally forgot to add Doomsday, so I'm gonna throw a Mythic Legion in there anyway. So here we are with a Mythic Legion. Feet touching the floor, right? Looking real swampy there, so let's fix this head sculpt. There we go. Looks really good, right? Now here we are with Storm Collectibles Doomsday. And this is him slightly hunched over and knees bent, and he towers over the big boy. This, I enjoy at this size. I'm totally okay with that. So hopefully I can do some cool pictures with that. Unfortunately, I do not know what my DC Essentials Cyborg Superman is, and I would love to use that. So hopefully I can find it. In the meantime, guys, please be good, do good. Drink your water yet again.